guys, this lesson is for language page 155. They're talking on this page about using the words more and most. So if you look at the purple box at the top of the page, it says use the word more before a long adjective when comparing two nouns. So they show you a couple of examples. More beautiful, more important. Use the word most before a long adjective when comparing three or more nouns. Most beautiful, most important. And then look at this next thing, because this is really important. Do not add the word more or most and er or est in the same adjective. So bigger is correct. We would not say more bigger. Biggest is correct. We would not say most biggest. Now, there's some words that change completely. We don't use er, we don't use est, and we don't use more or most. Two examples of those is the word bad, worse, and worst. We don't say badder, and we don't say more bad. We say worse. Same thing with good. You did a good job today. You did a better job today than you did yesterday, comparing two things. This is the best job you've ever done, comparing more than one thing. All right, so let's look at Think A. It's kind of tricky because they say a long adjective, but they don't say, well, if it's 8 letters, it's a long adjective, and if it's 7 letters, it's a short adjective. So some of it you have to kind of think, does it sound right? And do your best. So let's look at Think A, number 1. At our piano recital, Emma was blank than Ethan. And we have a choice, more nervous or nervouser. And the correct answer there is more nervous. Number 2, Dad said that last night's sunset was the blank one he has ever seen. Well, this one we know because they gave it in an example that beautiful is one of those words we use more with. So it would be more or most. It would be most beautiful because he's comparing the sunset to a lot of other sunsets. Number 3, wow, this box is the blank one we have moved so far. So they're comparing one box to a lot of other boxes. And the choices are the most heavy box or the heaviest box. And the correct choice there is heaviest. And then the last one says Charles is blank than his brother. So we're comparing two. So more thoughtful than his brother or thoughtfuler than his brother? It would be more thoughtful. This is one of those things where it's going to just take some practice. And after a while, you know which words get the ER and EST and which ones don't get the more, which ones get the more or the most. But it's just going to take some practice to get that. So what I want you to do now is I want you to do Think B. Pause the video, do Think B. Once you're done, turn the video back on, and we'll go over it together. Okay, so now we're going over Think B. It says circle the correct adjective in the box. So number 1 says you're comparing your dog to 3 other dogs. So it's 3 or more. And in that case, we use EST, so it would be smartest. Your cold to your brother's cold. Well, we're comparing 2 things here, but this is one of those exceptions, those crazy things in the English language that don't follow the rules, a rule breaker. So when we are comparing 2 things that are bad, we use the word worse. Number 3, your handwriting this year to your handwriting last year. So you're comparing 2 things. And again, this is one of those rule breakers. We don't say gooder, we say better. If you're comparing a rose to a dandelion, you're comparing two things, and you would use prettier. If you're comparing an orange, a lemon, and a lime, you're comparing three things, so we would use EST, and it would be sweetest. So check your work. If you got any wrong, see if you know why. If you can't figure out why you got it wrong, send me an email or have Mom send me an email or a text. For right C, you're going to write a declarative sentence. I mean, a telling sentence, a sentence that ends with a period, using the adjective smaller. So, what do we know about smaller? It ends in ER, so you should be comparing two things, two nouns, and we do not use the word most or more with the word smaller. So, go ahead and write your sentence, and I'll see you tomorrow.